Hiya, pals. Hi, pals, and welcome to the Disneyland Paris Show. Here's your hosts, Lucy, Chris, and Hugh. Gosh. And now, Disneyland Paris News. It's officially Christmas at Disneyland Paris.
Friday the 12th of November was officially Disney Plus Day in Disney parks worldwide.
Mickey's Dazzling Christmas Parade is foregoing its show stops in the hub for the foreseeable future.
The Cheshire Cat has rematerialised on his tree in the labyrinth with a major upgrade.
Festive themed menus appear at restaurants throughout the resorts.
Due to changes in French regulation, children aged 6 and over are once again required to wear face coverings when visiting Disneyland Paris.
Wanda, Star-Lord and Gamora join the Marvel selfie spot at the Studio Theatre.
And finally, UK travellers have been allowed into the United States for the first time since March 2020, causing a flood of British Disney fans to descend on Walt Disney World. And we are very happy for each and every one of them and not at all jealous and bitter.
No.
No.
Good for them. Good for them.
Listeners, pure listeners to the show, I'm wearing an elf hat because I don't know if you know, Chris, but the second bonfire night is out of the way. It's Christmas, baby. But it has green stripes in, so it's not working too well. It's showing the background through on our green screen.
Yeah,
Not
so
good.
you've just got a floating bobble.
I'll
on
tip
your
the bubble.
hat.
Tip the bubble back. Anyway, yeah. So it's Christmas.
It is. It just as about. Yeah, it is.
Our tree is up, Chris.
I know. I saw it when I walked through the partition between the wings.
You took it very well. People tend to get quite cross when they find out when we put our tree up, but I think you're in the right camp, aren't
We're going to be about 2 weeks behind you, but I wish you'd keep that music down.
Yeah.
Right, let me tell you what's up on the show today. So, we're going to talk about all that news that you've just listened to. We're also going to have a little chat through the Christmas entertainment that has arrived in the Disney parks. We're going to have a little look at the menus for Les Vœux Gourmands. Les Vœux Gourmands. Now, this
Sounds
was
good.
the week that we were away on holiday, and you and Lucas.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, totally forgot your child's name. You and Lucas did a show together. What you did was you chatted through one of the new menus, didn't you?
We did.
And you were like, really enjoyed that. And Hugh was saying that worked really well. And I thought, why not do that again? But also, if you are visiting in the next 3 months, you can plan what you're going to eat. Because believe it or not, I literally plan what I'm going to order in restaurants before I get to restaurants when I do my Disney planning. I enjoy it. I download the menus. I have a little look. Do you guys do that?
Well, do you know what I do? What I do is I will look online at a menu and I'll go, oh, there's lots of nice stuff there. And I won't think about it for a while. I might have a bit of an idea of what I think I'm going to have. And then generally I get there and I don't actually decide what I'm having until it's my turn, which is why, if you ever go and eat with me, I tend to be one of the last people to order.
Chris, what I like to do is sometimes I'll be looking at the menu and the waiter will come round and say, have you decided? And Lucy will look at me and I'll say, it's fine. And if I haven't decided, I'll just go wild at that point.
Yeah, it forces you a decision.
Yeah, I'll just be like, you know what? I'll get this.
Yeah,
I'm too
absolutely.
picky for that.
No, I'm all for that.
What I do, and one of the reasons I do it, is I like to budget my holiday money. And what I do is, if I know we're going to eat at that place on the evening and we'll probably have a quick service during the day, I look at the menus of the evening place and the quick service. And I do a little, hypothetically, what do I think Hugh would order and what would I order and what would we order for Bonnie? And I add up how much it'll cost. And then I multiply that by the number of days that we're going to be there. So I know how much we're likely to spend on food over 5 days.
That's
very-
really quite dedicated.
It is dedicated. And when we go to Florida, I do the same. And then I divide it by 20% so Hugh knows how much tip money to take because you pick the tips up, don't you?
Tip.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I definitely said tips.
You
then.
did say tip, but yeah,
In a
but
very Yorkshire way.
the first time,
Is it with a hard P?
the first time your P was a little soft and it didn't sound like tip.
Okay.
Well, do you know what though? I can add to your.
This comes up every week.
Yeah, it does quite often.
Tidbits.
I can add to your. I'm going to call it a game. The game that you play where you work out how much things are going to cost. what you want to add into that now is Hugh's final decision to see whether you got it right or not, and you should keep a tally on your spreadsheet.
Honestly, because
How good would that be?
because I pre-book the restaurants, I should write down on a secret little pad what I think Hugh will order at every single
think you
restaurant.
should.
Because he doesn't look at the menus in advance. He doesn't do that.
People
And
want
then-
stats. Do you know this? People want stats. If you go on Twitter for like football games and things these days, they're not bothered about like watching videos of people scoring goals. They want to know how likely that person was to score and whether or not they did,
It'd be like-
and things like this. So it's all about stats. Now we could start our own Twitter account. It's all about stats to do with Disneyland and Walt Disney World. How cool would that be?
That would be cool. But how
Lucy-
interested do you think they are in the likelihood of
Oh,
you
you'd
ordering?
be surprised.
This
Lucy loves
sounds-
stats.
I love stats.
She loves a
I really
We make a
get
league
off
out
on
of it,
stats.
Especially a Disney one.
League out.
I
It is-
love Disney stats. But it would be like a really kind of drawn out game of Disney Mr. and Mrs., wouldn't it? It'd be a two-week game of that. Seeing if you're ordering what I thought you'd order. Right.
Yeah, but think, do you know, like, I know a lot of people who look at the menu beforehand and decide what they want, but like, it just seems strange to me because, you know, I might want something like, you know, some days I might have had a big snack like an hour ago or something, and I think, oh, do you know what, I'm just going to get a salad. You know, it depends on. I suppose they haven't.
I've changed my mind.
They haven't fully committed to it, have they? But like, I just know that could change. So there's no point me really, you know, cementing it in my mind until I've actually got there.
I've realised something, guys. I've set up the screen wrong on the laptop, and it's a bit confusing, and it's not quite where it should be. So I'm going to just lean forward. I'm sorry if anyone gets glances of my chest, but I'm going to do this right now because it needs sorting out. It's
I've just
annoying me.
noticed a couple of new friends in the chat. I'm talking to an armpit right now.
Hello, I'm
But hi Claire.
We've
and
got,
hi Lauren. And Lauren's going in 10 days.
Should we do,
to
Wow.
Topaz.
should we do a quick roll call?
Have you
Yes.
chosen your food yet, Lauren? Have you looked at the menus?
We got both Marks are here.
Hi Mark.
Hi, Marks.
Marky and Marky. Whoa! Chris Fletcher's here. Hello. Hi, Chris. Claire's here. Lauren, as we said. That's all we've got so far at the moment. Showing up in the chat.
Yeah.
Well.
Anyone else who's lurking,
Put
you
your hand
know,
up if you're here.
well, you don't have to. That's absolutely fine. If you just want to chill out without committing to a chat, that's fine by
Mark
us.
Chester says, interesting statistic, 100% of people in the chat right now so want to be in DLP. I got this ordered that sentence wrong.
That's a good.
Oh, Mike Suffield, hello, first
fact.
timer. Lovely to have you, Mark.
Hi, Mike. Mike.
With a lot of marks.
Before we jump into the news, then, I've brought you a little something.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
And I thought it could go nicely with a drink, so I thought that I'd kill two birds with one stone and ask you, Hugh, what's inside your tiki cup?
Hey, ole, it's showtime! All together! Your tiki cup in your tiki cup. Well, you made yourself a beverage, I'll drink it up from your tiki cup.
It's Tango, strawberry and watermelon, sugar-free.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It's delicious.
Excellent. Well, it's possible, I mean, I could be completely wrong, but it's possible that this Cinnabon could go with it.
Now, Cinnabon is something I hear a lot watching American media,
Vlogs, yeah.
and I've no idea what it is.
Well, there you are.
It's a cinnamon.
It's a cinnamon.
It's a
swirl.
cinnamon
These are small
swirl.
ones. I got small ones, but it's not. It's where Saul Goodman works, isn't it? In the
Oh yeah,
Oh, that's all good.
yes he does.
in the black and white
in
segments.
the flash forwards.
Yeah, in the flash forwards, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you are.
Well, thanks very much, Chris.
That's all right. I just thought I thought
This is a taste
because I'd seen pictures of your tree on Facebook before I came round to your wing of our house.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm going to make a special trip to go and get something cinnamon-y to go with that. So,
I don't even know where there is a Cinnabon.
well, there's one near my house. I mean, our house, obviously.
It's round the back.
It's just round the corner from my house.
I'm going to tie this in
Just past where Goofy lives.
That's it. Yeah.
behind the garage. I'm
He actually
going to
works
tie
there.
this into a Disney thing because I actually said to Hugh earlier this week, one of my fondest memories of being in Animal Kingdom is we got kind of the early magic hour bits, and we went to a little bakery and we got a giant Mickey head cinnamon roll, and we shared it. Just stood in the middle of Africa between the three of us, didn't we? And that was our breakfast. And just standing there sharing a cinnamon roll is one of my favourite memories of being in Animal Kingdom. And now I'm able to relive that.
There you are.
Sitting in a cold kitchen in Dewsbury.
Yes.
So Lauren's
That's
correct.
life.
Lauren's correct though. It is in Wakefield. It's at the petrol station just down the road. And I haven't been living off them like a husband, as she's just said. But I went and bought some the other day because I wanted Laura to try them, see what she thought. They do chocolate ones as well, you see. And it gave her indigestion for 4 days. So, so now I have to have them on my own, which is a real shame.
What I like about them, Chris, is you're capturing that little flavour of Disney World, but also cinnamon. It's Christmassy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're ticking all the boxes here.
Lauren, I'm gonna talk my mouth full now. This is so polite and great
Watch
visuals.
us eat.
Great visuals as well. But Lauren says she has got an idea what she wants to eat. She's pre-booked all the restaurants.
Yes.
Definitely knows what she wants in Chez Remy. And I remember there not being much choice in Chez Remy, and steak and chips being kind of what you were funneled towards.
Oh.
It's really good.
With ratatouille. Now, ratatouille is not something I would eat, but if I can eat it with some steak, I can have it on the same fork quite happily, and I enjoyed it. But all the ingredients of all the ingredients of ratatouille, on paper, just is not for me. But with the steak, it was nice.
Do you know, guys? Sometimes I do the show notes and I really worry, oh no, we're going to need an extra couple of discussions. We're going to run out of things to talk about. We haven't touched the show notes yet. And we're what?
And we'll see you next week.
We're 13 minutes in. We're sitting here eating cinnamon rolls. Should we talk about something?
I'm waiting till you start talking about news and stuff, then I can have a bit of quiet time.
That's what I was thinking.
I finished mine.
Oh, you're a finger licker, Hugh. That's good. I'm a finger licker.
So... Wanda, Star-Lord and Gamora have all joined the Marvel selfie spots in the Studio Theatre. Now, I'm quite surprised that Star-Lord and Gamora weren't already on there, because they definitely had meet and greets the year that I did Run Disney, because they had which was 2018, for people keeping count, because they had them on the running route, and I remember them having them in the park later that afternoon. So whether they've gone away and come back again... That's big news. However, Wanda Maximoff is a long-term meet and greet, but I believe that she was introduced this week to kind of tie into the Disney Plus thing. And she's a much requested meet by fans, apparently. And also, it adds another female to the lineup, which I kind of think... I think Marvel is quite a balanced franchise these days, but when they're marketed, they're not very balanced, I don't think. In the marketing. Your company.
I have a little insight into this. I won't say too much about it for professional reasons, but I think you'll find there will be more balance. If you're not seeing it now,
going forward.
Yeah, if you're not seeing it now, you probably
have you sensed a balance in the Force.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's right.
See, I know it from Bonnie kind of choosing a favourite Avenger as Black Widow, and she got really into Black Widow, but I really think it was... She needed to choose a favourite Avenger and she didn't have girls to choose from. Basically, the ones that were available. So that's the way it goes. Right, so that's all good. And Gamora's fun. Green.
Mark Riley says you need a tiki cup, and that's the point, actually. We've all got one except you.
I know, and I always have my scuddy plastic bottle.
Mine's transparent, though.
Oh, yeah. It's ghostly.
Ooh. So... changes in French regulation. Children aged 6+ are now required to wear the masks again. Yeah. This was the case when we went in the summer, and then it was downgraded or upgraded, whichever way you look at it.
For a couple of days.
Well, I was going to say, how long was it?
3 weeks, something like that.
Is that all it was?
Very long, is it?
This is different from the UK, as everyone listening will probably know. I think we're mainly UK listeners, aren't we? Because we've never been below 11, have we?
No.
I do think it's been recommended 12 and up, I think.
I'm not sure. Yeah, you're probably right.
Because it's high school age kids. But, how's that going to affect... Well, it will affect your trip, won't it, if it's still like that in February?
Lucas is a little bit more warm to the idea now, so I think it'll be all right. Oliver is still underage, so he'll be fine. But also, 3 weeks ago, they changed the rules.
That's true.
They seem to be jumping in and out of rules in France quite a bit, so... It could be completely different by then.
And when is it? February?
Mm-hmm. They could be in full lockdown again by then and all shut.
Oh, just don't.
I've started Christmas shopping, right? I've pretty much done most of it. I'm sorry, guys. I know it's annoying to hear.
You're working,
and I'm very smart.
Pretty much done.
But every year I take 2 days off. But my point is, as I was going round, it's getting a bit chilly out there. It's nice to have the mask on.
I find that.
I completely agree.
I find your own breath warms your nose a bit.
Sometimes I left it on in between shops,
Yeah. That's nice.
I think we might have a new listener in the chat there, Penny Bunty. Hi guys, hello from Sheffield. I always listen to the show on the podcast app. Yay! This is the first time I've caught you live.
Hi,
I
Penny.
really love that. It's not like me. It's not like a new person. It's like meeting an old friend.
We
Do you
need
know
a-
what I mean? When you hear that you've been lurking for a while.
We need a new person jingle.
Yeah. But then I'd feel bad if we missed someone.
Sorry,
we
not
mentioned
that.
my stuff, haven't we? I'll just keep scanning.
You were playing that, Chris, but Mac Chester's asking about your Star Wars T-shirt. I also own this T-shirt. He got a peek of it. It's the Star Tours L'Aventure Continue. I love that T-shirt.
Yeah, I do as
Actually,
well.
hang on. Can I just have a look? Has it got the?
Yeah, it does. It seems to have faded off a bit.
It was quite felty and in relief, but actually yours has sort of gone quite flat, hasn't it?
It has, yeah. I have
Interesting.
noticed that.
Do you know what?
do that a lot.
I'm so precious
I
about.
wear it every week.
I'm so precious about mine. I think I've worn it twice since I got it, and I haven't washed it. That's what I do with new clothes. Like I try and get away with not washing it for as long as possible. Penny, go on, sorry.
I was just going to say about the shirt. I got it the first time we went to DLP, and I wore it for the first time when you came around to record a Sudcast episode. And when I finished that episode, I really wished I hadn't put it on because it was so ridiculously tight on me and very uncomfortable. So it was put away for absolutely ages and I didn't wear it. And then when I lost all the weight at the beginning of this year, I started wearing the shirt again. But it was one of the few shirts that fit me, so it's kind of gone the flip side, which is probably why it's worn down so much. But I hadn't actually noticed that it's got none of that.
Yeah, it's
Felty
a
bubble
nice
tone.
luxury T-shirt with like a felty like design on it.
Can I wrangle you back to Disney?
Yes, can I
This is Disney.
can I just say while Penny mentioned Sheffield, can I just mention what we did last week?
Oh, yeah, you should.
Because we went to Sheffield to the Octagon at the university, to watch Bob, our old pal Bob,
Sangwell.
a long-time listener and pal Bob Sangwell, in his barbershop quartet group.
And did he?
Fever Pitch.
Did he what? Quartet?
Did he sang well?
He did. He sang very well. It was it's like no event we've ever been to.
They were called Fever Pitch, weren't they?
They were going to see a barbershop quartet competition. It was intense but exciting. They had all these weird customs we didn't know. Like, every time they lowered the lights.
I don't know if that was just particular to that group of people, or if every time you go to a barbershop quartet and they say lower the lights, everyone goes. Have you heard of it? I don't know if that was just. Maybe it was just that group of people. I don't know. But basically, before the first act had been on, I was messaging Chris, and we'd already started a barbershop quartet.
Yeah.
I just want to
There's three of us so far.
give a little tribute to Bob though, because he was one of our first kind of really loyal and vocal listener that we knew was out there, like almost from the beginning. And he started a Facebook group called Disney Then and Now, which I really recommend you join because he puts loads of trivia on, old photos, he's got daily kind of updates. And then he started contributing things. He's written a Disney book that we've given away as prizes. We've all got
He
a copy.
hosted a quiz between us versus Chat
He
Disney.
did.
That was fun, that.
And so we've become quite firm pals just through the means of podcasting and listeners and corresponding and things. And then to meet him last week, but also to be able to support him in his interests the way he supported us in ours, it was really quite lovely and magical. And I think that's what we love most about doing this hobby. And there's lots of people in the chat, some of you for the first time, but we get a little bit of a community going.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
That's enough of this
Now,
loving.
can I go back down my list now? I've stopped being abusive. Okay. Right.
No one in the chat saying anything that will, kick off another tangent.
I'll start
Switch
crying. Number 5, festive themed menus appear at restaurants throughout the resorts.
Ooh.
Right, this is basically a staple of Disney parks things, and I don't know it's because I've had a year off Disney Christmas because there wasn't one last year or what, but I'm just thinking, hey guys, they're up in the game. There's stuff going on. It looks nicely presented. There's little desserts, Lucky
Shortbread.
Nuggets. Well, you say that. Lucky Nuggets have got a little reindeer tartlet that's got antlers and a nose and the
Tartlet.
red nose.
What's in the tartlet?
Tartlet.
Chocolate mousse in
Tartlet.
the tartlet.
Oh, nice. Yeah,
all that kind of thing.
Words last all meaning.
There's a Hyperion. There's a parcel-shaped chocolate mousse cake thing that is different to the tartlets. And then
I love a chocolate mousse cake.
Yeah.
there's the snack stalls are selling your gingerbread iced cakes. Now, I knew it to look at it. It's those kind of quite sharp German ginger cakes but quite soft that you get at Christmas. We always get them at Christmas markets. You often get decorations in shapes in that kind of thing.
I think I know what you mean.
Yep, so they've got those going on.
I don't know what you mean.
All right, well, I'll get you one. You'll see. They've got Christmas.
You'll all see.
Christmas cupcakes at the bakery. They've got various different specialised sandwiches and burgers in quick service. You know, the way McDonald's do. But I'm quite up for that. And I'll usually choose the festive option just for the novelty.
And all available between the hours of 1 and 3 every day.
Oh no, Lucy was going for positivity.
Okay, we'll keep
Hugh
positive.
brought
We'll keep positive.
Hugh brought
We'll keep
it
positive.
real again.
1
Oh
and
yeah,
4.
it's looking exciting. And speaking of exciting things, have you seen what's happened to the Cheshire Cat?
No.
Have you
Now-
not seen what's happened to the Cheshire Cat?
So where is he in the maze?
It's almost as soon as you go.
You're right,
in,
okay, yeah, I
and
thought-
you're looking straight ahead. He's on the tree,
And
and then he disappeared for maintenance.
for how long? Was he there last time we were there?
Oh yeah, he was there last time we were there. He's
Oh.
been gone maybe a month.
Okay,
Okay, he's back.
right.
He moves.
What? In what way?
He moves. His paw does this for listeners. Hugh always does the audio description, don't you?
Lucy is making a claw and moving it in a horizontal motion back and forth.
And his tail slightly swishes.
Lucy swishes her
I
tail,
need to smile.
but it's actually her hand.
If only I could swish my tail. I'd love to get a video up for him for you guys at some point. Maybe if someone else talks for a while, I will. But yeah, not right now. Okay.
So that's in the in Alice's Curious Labyrinth.
It is, which we love. That is it. It's another Disneyland Paris walkthrough that American parks are totally lacking in any kind of walkthrough. In my opinion, they just don't do them well. Paris do them brilliant.
It just breaks my heart every time another attraction's added, and I just think, walkthrough, come on, guys. Love a walkthrough. Just a bit of variation. Don't just stop putting us in queues.
We did a really fun show about walkthroughs, didn't we? Was it earlier this year?
I think
Where we chose what
Yeah.
our favourites. We made our own up.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
We
yeah.
had like a Christmas land.
Yeah, I can't remember what mine was.
yeah,
I can't
that would have been
remember.
good.
Yeah.
Was mine a forest?
No,
I
I
don't
think
know.
you're stealing mine.
Did it have the the Seven Dwarfs cottage?
Oh, maybe.
Or was that just an idea and I did something else? I don't know. Yeah.
Right. Well, this isn't jumping out at me. So I'm going
Well,
to carry on.
if you look, I will say Penny saying her favourite DLP Christmas treat is having a Minnie Mouse berry hot chocolate in Cafe Fantasia at the end of a busy day in a park while listening to The Pianist.
Oh, that sounds nice.
That sounds good. We
Hang on a minute, this sounds great. Having a Minnie Mouse berry hot chocolate, great, in Cafe Fantasia at the end of a busy day in the park while listening to The Pianist.
That sounds
It
awesome.
sounds great.
Right. You are now going to witness/listen to the first reaction of these boys seeing the moving Cheshire Cat. He's never moved before, though, has he?
That is cutting edge animatronics.
I don't know if he used to move like 25 years ago, but in the time that we've been going, he's never moved.
I mean, if you weren't really paying attention, he still doesn't really move, does he?
For those of you who could see what Lucy was doing on the screen, that's pretty much what he was doing.
He barely
I was
moves.
really excited by that. I was
Do you know
like,
what?
He's moving.
Yeah, it's nice that he does something, and they've added that when they could have just I don't know, cleaned him and put him back or whatever. But it's very subtle.
But it might be that kind of subtle. You know, like in the queue for Haunted Mansion in Magic Kingdom, how that gravestone opens her eyes and closes it again, and then you're never quite sure if you've seen it. Or in Disneyland Paris, the witch looks out of the top window, doesn't she? Near Snow White. Yeah. It could be like one of those where you kind of walk past and go, hang on, did he just wag his tail? Nah, I'm imagining it. That I'm selling it here. I'm selling minimalism
Go check it
here.
out on.
I wouldn't be happy unless they develop some kind of technology where he disappears except for his smile. He
that would be
completely
so good.
disappears.
They've got that technology.
Do you know what they have?
They
Like,
could have done
it's
that.
just something,
screen.
something to do with what's it called? Mapping.
Projection
Mapping. It matches the background, and then sometimes it's pink, and then sometimes it fades away, and it looks like it's disappeared. So Book up your ideas, DLP.
Come on,
Nothing
Disney.
satisfies this guy, does it? Right, Mickey's Dazzling Christmas Parade, which we are going to talk about shortly, but it's kind of a spoiler because it is having to forego its show stops in the hub for the foreseeable future. Now, the press release that I read said foreseeable future. However, it also said they hope to resume them in the next few days. So it's not as bad as it sounds. If anyone's not familiar with it, it's only been running a couple of days, but they stop in the hub and the princesses get off and go onto a stage and do a little funky dance, and then Goofy and Max and Donald get off and go on another stage. They've done a very similar thing with the Pirates and Princesses parades and entertainment. Very similar thing with the
Frozen
the
one.
jungle. Yeah, oh, the Frozen. Oh
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
they
they
did get on the
Frozen one.
stage on that. The Jungle Book one, they sort of did a Bollywood parade thing, and they did a similar thing. It's good. It's different to anything that I know they do in other worldwide parks. I can't say it's my favourite place to... It's just not my favourite format. I get why they do it. They usually do it as dance-alongs, a bit of... They expect you to kind of get into this party atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It's theatering around. They've got 4 different stages so they can really get the audience going. But for me, it's not... There's too many members of the public involved in it, in your sight line. You know, when you watch a parade and your eyes are just going to the parade and you're really kind of zoning out everything around you, you can't do it too much there. Anyway, I don't know what the technical difficulties were. I know that at the nighttime version they did have some kind of pyrotechnic going on. I don't know if it's that, but I believe that the show stops have been halted for the daytime ones as well.
Tell you what's
So-
good though when they are going, because the Halloween parade when we went the first time, they had a thing that happened in the hub as well, and on one of the days we were in the Plaza Gardens having our food, and you can see everything going on from there, so you have a nice seat
Oh
to be able to
yeah.
watch it all, which is pretty cool
Yeah. And warm.
and warm, yeah,
And warm.
yeah, which is great in
I
end of
tell you
October.
what, when we tried to watch, we were there for 3 days, I think, on this trip, and we tried to watch the Jungle Book one every day, kept missing it for one reason or another. But for 2 of the days, it was cancelled because it was too hot. It was like 34 degrees, do you remember?
Yeah.
And it wasn't safe for the performers. Now, how they do this in other parts of the world, I don't know, but it was deemed, you know, things get cancelled because of weather conditions when it's thunderstorms, but in this case it was too hot for them to perform. How bonkers is that? Sunburn. Right, so right, Friday the 12th was Disney Plus Day.
Oh yeah,
Now then,
Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. I've not been, because I've had such a busy week with work and stuff that I haven't been following it. I saw some logos popping up about, you know, proposed Disney shows, and we're seeing so many of these now that, like, are they going to get through them all? How many of these are going to actually get cancelled?
they've managed so far, haven't they?
yeah, they have pretty much. I mean, were it not for that the pandemic, that Phase 5 timeline that Feige presented at D23 would be done, wouldn't it? They're all still there in production, I think. But seeing all those logos drop did make me think, I really hope we don't get to oversaturation with Marvel, because I love Marvel and we've watched everything. I wasn't a fan of What If, so we kind of gave up on
Yeah,
that.
I gave up on that as well.
Yeah.
But we've watched all the live action stuff, and if it just gets to they're just churning out series after series after series, and some of them you like and some of them you don't fancy.
Bubble's
that
gonna
one, so
burst.
you won't bother with that. Yeah, worries me a bit. Anyway,
Like it did with the Star Wars films, where now they've just kind of gone, there's going to be one every year. Oh, no, it's not going to be one for about 6 years.
you see, the bubble didn't burst for me with the Star Wars films, but I think it did worldwide, didn't it? I think
I think
don't
it was a
we're getting
combination of
returns.
they've been a bit too much and getting overexcited. We've got this property, let's just make loads of films, and they've been terrible.
Okay, different podcast entirely. So, do you want to know what Disneyland Paris did?
Yes.
Yes, I
Go
know.
on then.
I know you do. Right, so they lit up the Tower of Terror blue and had some pyrotechnics after nightfall. They had Studio 1 all turned blue with projections on the floor and projection mapping going up the sides. And in there, they had Minnie and Goofy in blue outfits waving to you from the top. You were also getting complimentary buttons, pin badges on entry, that kind of
Complimentary pin badges?
thing. No, sorry. I used to call them pin badges, but now I can't because pin badges Disney thing. What do you call that you had as a kid? Little button badges. Button badges.
A button.
Yeah, button badge, yeah.
Button badges. Okay. And then we had quite a lot of specialised meets and greets. So you had Needleman and George Sanderson at Boo's Door. You know where Boo's Door is? Mm-hmm. Those are monsters from Monsters at Work, indeed.
Right.
But then they had...
Needleman.
And I'm really sorry that we haven't uploaded photographs for the people viewing on YouTube. Usually we do, but I was very late with my show notes this week. You had Boo and Sully meeting at Boo's Door. Now, what's weird about this is Boo is the same size as Sully. Which...
Well, she's wearing the monster purple outfit
monster
that she
thing.
wears. So, like, in total, she's almost the same size, isn't she? But
Yeah.
if you took the costume away, she'd be half his size.
I think she's still too big.
But what else can they
and
do?
wide. Well, yeah,
Other than not
exactly.
have her there.
I think
Could maybe not have her there.
that that costume is cute as a button. I am there for it. It's excellent.
A 6 foot tall button.
But don't put her with Sully, I think. Because they're quite good at scale and stuff like that.
It's a bit strange at that door that, Sully's there as a meet, and then there's a statue of
Yeah.
Mike in the
Yeah.
background.
And you know what? Mike and Sully have met together in that location with like Mike and a mini Mike, which
they
is
chuck a-
quite odd.
Chuck a blanket over it. A yellow
Yeah.
cone on its head.
Like a canary. Indeed. What else did we have on Disney Plus Day?
I liked how it's mostly celebrated by making everything blue.
Yeah. Well, it's shorthand, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's worth noting that as far as I could tell, all of this was in the studios. And I quite like this. And I like that the studios exist because you're able to put these kind of 21st century modern real life things in the studios where they just don't fit.
Yeah,
in
it's not going to go in Frontierland, is it?
No, exactly.
Disney Plus.
They had Joy and Sadness meeting. They had Russell from Up. And they had various other things. They were trying to sell the Toy Story characters meeting together as a special Disney Plus thing. But in truth, it was just Boo and Woody and Jessie and Buzz.
Is it still freaky looking Woody as well? Because they've had an update in America, haven't they? We haven't had that update.
I think, and also Buzz.
Freaky? I don't know if it's freaky.
His eyes are very close together, and his jaw's pretty square, and it's always been his eyes for me. And Buzz Lightyear that we've had for years in Paris, he's got a very cheeky, like chimp face, and I think that I've seen pictures that they have been upgraded,
but not in Paris though.
No, maybe not. Because
I think
they were the same in Florida.
We've got all the old ones from America.
I think we must have, yeah. Because they were the same ones in Florida as well. And when they changed, I was like, oh, great. They look a bit more like they should.
Like they should, yeah.
But we've still got the sort of cheeky Buzz and the untrustworthy eyes close together Woody.
I like them.
Lee from Blue. Or me. My eyes are quite close together.
Yes, but in a handsome way.
So you said you've not really seen much of what's gone on with Disney Plus. Have you watched any of the Plus Day content at all?
No,
Well,
I haven't.
We've already watched.
We watched
Shang-Chi and Jungle Cruise. We watched Jungle Cruise at the cinema. In fact, we watched both of those at the cinema.
I haven't watched them yet.
I watched a slanderous review of Home Alone from a film reviewer who I know and trust, and her exact words were, "I don't even think it's worth."
She said it's unwatchable.
It's unwatchable. Says I wouldn't even recommend your kids watch it or you watch it and try and get through it for the. It says it's just unwatchable.
And where does
so
that? The thing is, though, in order to be able to truly understand where it sits in the whole catalogue of Home Alone films, you kind of have to watch it to be able to see whether it's worse than 3, 4, and 5, don't you?
I haven't watched 3, 4, and 5. I've only watched 1 and 2.
I haven't. I've seen the first one and most of the second one. I haven't really sat down and watched the second one properly. I'm not interested. I think the first one is just great. It's a great, well-rounded film. And
the second one's great as well.
I'm not really interested in the
apart
others.
from Trump's fleeting appearance.
Have they cut him out though?
yeah.
Have they cut him out on Disney
Oh, they might have done.
Plus,
Don't
they did.
Do you think?
I think, yeah.
I think they did.
Wow.
Yeah. After the insurrection.
Now I have
Do you watch
seen.
Olaf?
Yes,
Yes,
we did watch Olaf. Yeah, they are good. I like the repetition of the my parents are dead gag, but then the one in the Lion King was funny.
Didn't die straight away.
Mufasa is dead, but he didn't die straight away. And then it goes on and on.
Stampeded.
Yeah.
Bonnie
really
wildebeest.
Bonnie really enjoyed that.
I've seen that there's a whole making of series for the Marvel things, which we will definitely watch. But we need to be watching that together, and we've had a terrible week work-wise, both of us, haven't we? We've not been in the same room till midnight most days. He rocked it.
I probably look a bit tired today, but I was up till 1:45 finishing some artwork yesterday for the Beano. It's not their fault. It's
like when
just the way it worked out. But I was like, I thought this will take 4 hours, and it took about
your husband
6.
doesn't get home from work till 2 a.m. But when his work is just in the next room, it's a bit. Anyway.
It was fine, I was awake enough, but I look a bit tired today. That's all.
Oh, you don't. You look.
I was making a Where's Wally Styles snowy scene, which is what took so long.
Now, I'm just going to wrap up this Disney Plus thing by saying I find this element that I'm about to talk about a little bit sinister. So, Disney fans, it's Disney Plus Day. They make loads of announcements. We're happy. They put things on Disney Plus. We're happy. Things in Disney Park. We're happy. But they had giant inflatable icons around the Eiffel Tower. And I believe they had them in Trafalgar Square as well.
I think they were in various places, yeah.
Like a giant Boba Fett helmet, a giant Olaf, a giant Captain America shield, and a giant Pixar ball. And it was meant to represent the 4 intellectual properties, I suppose. But I find that it's a little bit, I mean, they're parodying their own thing because, Big and Large from WALL-E. I find it a bit like that. It's like this corporation that's just taking over major landmarks. I find it a bit icky. And I don't necessarily think they need to be promoting themselves. I don't know what other company has its own day, is audacious enough or obnoxious enough.
Amazon. Prime Day, yeah.
Yeah, but do they advertise that outside their own website? And email lists?
Oh, you mean like with the giant inflatables? Giant inflatable cardboard boxes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
around major landmarks.
I don't know, but FHM once projected Denise Van Outen on Big Ben, not Big Ben, on the clock tower. Denise Van Outen. So, No,
who did that?
FHM magazine.
FHM.
So,
Was it Denise Van Outen?
Oh no, it wasn't. It was that Scottish woman. Yeah, it was. Yes, you're right.
Oh, what's her name?
Lorraine Kelly.
yeah, Lorraine Kelly.
No, but
I've forgotten her name, but yeah,
it'll come to us at some point.
It's
Yeah, it is.
Mark Riley says, "Come on, guys, choose a date for 37 Disney Day." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, the 37th of December.
Of November.
Indeed.
November.
Someone tell us the name of the Scottish presenter and model who's on the side of. Was
She
it?
got alopecia, didn't she?
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Gail Porter.
Yeah.
Gail Porter, thank you.
Oh,
Penny.
Penny got there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, Penny got there quicker though because there's a bit of delay from
There is.
from them
Thank
typing
you,
to us.
Penny.
Seeing
Oh,
stuff.
right.
Mark's there as well.
Mark didn't get it quicker. He probably did.
Right.
I'm glad.
Okay.
I'm glad I got it off me on
Goodness
back.
me.
Now, I always go in reverse order up these lists 'cause it's more interesting that way. The last thing to talk about is it's officially Christmas at Disneyland Paris. We've kind of already touched on this with menus and things. But let's have a look at some of the entertainment that we've got. Now, first of all, we've got Let's Sing Christmas at Videopolis. And it is the Fab Five in traditional red and green and black watch tartan outfits. Very Dickensian. Full choir behind them in choir robes. And the stage is decorated with trees, with snow, with presents and all that. It is traditional Christmas.
What are they singing?
Christmas songs. I haven't seen videos. I've only seen like promo material. I didn't recognise that as
Come on.
any
Anyone?
kind of Christmas
Is it I
song.
Saw Three Ships?
Yeah.
Okay.
This could be a fun game.
I don't know.
And what was in those ships of 3?
I don't know specifically what the singing, because I've only read promo material as opposed to watch actual videos. Maybe I will this week, but it does look very warm and cozy. It's very warm colours. It's very Christmassy. Now, when we were there, we watched Mickey's big band thing. Can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
And it was all silver and blue.
Cold.
And it was a really good show.
It was ace, yeah.
But I'm a cozy Christmas person. I've never liked this kind of go more the winter route. It's not been a thing for me.
I'm with you. I want, for me, like an early 90s Disney Christmas.
Oh, well,
And
Huey.
I'm specifically thinking about that cassette tape I always bring up, which is Mickey's 12 Days of Christmas, which you can also get on YouTube.
You are going to love the next one then.
That for me is where Christmas stops. And it has to be, the colours have to be like dark green and red, and you're not really sort of dirgy, but 90s. That's Christmas.
In the studios, on that stage in front of the Tower of Terror, they're doing a funny, snowy winter with Donald and Goofy. And again, it's red and green, but they've got a digital background. Now, the first shot I saw of this was a close-up of Goofy, and I could see this background. And I thought they'd built a physical set. And I'm like, they don't usually do that in that venue. But it was almost like Pee Wee Herman style stuff. But it was all in those really warm colours, and it just reminded me of Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas.
Oh,
It's
You know what I mean?
Once
It's
Upon a
really-
Christmas!
They're selling it. Blah, 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 blah. What we're trying to say. Tell me what I'm trying to say.
They're
I
selling
think
it.
there's high expectations for me because it's called a funny, snowy winter. Because it has to be funny and it has to be snowy. Otherwise, it's failed straight away.
Well, I agree with you.
Yeah, how funny is it going to...
Does
I
it
don't
mean
know.
strange
But-
funny? Like, it's a bit funny.
But the thing is, just looking at pictures of it, I immediately got that childhood nostalgia that you just talked about of a 90s Disney Saturday morning special, Christmas special, and that's what it looked like. So I thought,
That
ooh,
sounds awesome.
Yeah,
A
it
Christmas
does.
morning special.
Now, having said that, I've never thought they've done... Do you know what? I was going to say I don't think they do amazing shows on there. It tends to be a couple of characters dancing just to...
Max and Goofy.
Yeah, to engage a few people as walk through the studios. But in actual fact, it was the Christmas one that we watched there that was really, really good. They were throwing presents around, and there was a whole troop of dancers. And
Goofy got hurt. Got a corner of a box in his eye.
It was really, really good. Now, you wanted snow, Chris.
I do.
Snow is back on Main Street. We love this when it snows on Main Street. For those who don't know, it is Snope, but it is slightly better quality than the Snope you might get outside your local.
I made Snoop. Remember that bit from Rise of Skywalker?
Yes.
He goes, I killed Snoke, dear boy. I made Snoke.
Yeah. So we've experienced Snope in most kind of local attractions, and one we did last year was literally just like thick sausages of bubbles coming out and failing to fall down. It's really good quality stuff that you get in Disneyland Paris, and it is so magical, particularly at night. Now, talking about that, I'll come back to that in a second. One last thing before we talk about the parade, because the parade's going to take up a bit of time today. Santa has taken up residence in Arcade Beta for the holidays. That's in Videopolis. It's at the back of Videopolis, and he's meeting guests, socially distanced selfies. Now, am I wrong, people?
Arcade Beta.
Did he used to, for the Christmas period, didn't he used to take over the Mickey Mouse Theatre in Fantasyland?
I thought he did.
I thought he did. That's where he was. And that's a really good venue for a Santa meet and greet. Now, I've never been to this Arcade Beta. I've never had reason to. I vaguely know where it is. It's like where the toilets are, but round a bit.
Yeah.
On that side.
Where?
But it's such an uncozy venue.
On the right of Videopolis. Videopolis?
Yes, Videopolis.
On the right-hand side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
Down there.
Near the
Do they have
bogs.
arcade machines and stuff like that kind of arcade.
I know that's where they put the new phone chargers in, if that helps.
Sounds magical.
Now, to be fair to Disneyland Paris, they're not daft. They've done the full cosy backdrop, and they've set dressed it and everything. But it's not about that for me. It's, right, kids, we're going to come and meet Santa, and then you walk through this futuristic landscape. Doesn't feel quite right. Whereas, come on, kids, we're going to go meet Santa, and you've got Toad Hall on the left, and you've got the carousel behind you. It feels a little more correct.
Yeah. As Mark's saying, nothing says Christmas more than arcade beta. Or beta, if you like. Yeah.
It's a Disney Character Central.
Absolutely.
It is actually an arcade.
It is,
the Art
it
Games
is an
arcade.
I hope they've
thought it
blooming
was.
disconnected
Yeah.
the game. High score!
Ready, go!
Somebody tell us what that's about. We love to get your full trip reports. If you go in, tell me what that's like.
Listen to this that Penny says, right?
Yeah.
She says, seeing my daughter's face when she saw Main Street light up and snow for the first time is hands down my most magical Christmas moment ever.
Yes.
There you
We've
go.
got our own
sounds
magical
amazing.
moment with Bonnie dressed... Well, this is a video we've got, actually, so we come back to it. Bonnie dressed as Tinkerbell at the age of just gone 3, dancing and trying to catch snow.
Oh,
and
she
it really
too?
is. No, because her birthday's in August. She went for the first time when she was 2.5.
Oh, she was nearly 3 when she went. Right.
And then she was
That makes sense, yeah.
3 at Christmas.
No, because her birthday's in August.
Just remind him.
So, yeah, so this is where she's meeting the gingerbread men.
There's the gingerbread men. Yeah, we walked into the park and the Christmas had already started, so we stopped on Main Street just to let people past, and we got the best view of the Christmas parade. And the gingerbread men danced up to her, made a fuss of her, and then she was dressed as Tinkerbell, and Tinkerbell spotted her from the top of her massive tower and waved and made a little love heart symbol and gave a cuddle, and then she pointed at some other dancers, look at that Tinkerbell, and they came over. It was like everything. And within, I mean, I cry walking into a Disneyland Paris thing, but that must be the quickest and fullest I've ever cried at Disney. It's like within moments of being in that park, the most magical thing you can ever imagine had happened. It was
I
amazing.
just had some Snope in my eye.
Oh yeah.
What did you do
that
afterwards? You go get some
keeping real.
shortbread to celebrate.
Yeah.
You keeping it real.
Shortbread.
No, this was sort of towards the end of the day. I'll show you the video later. You'll know the one I mean.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Got
so,
10 minutes left.
Right.
On our self-imposed arbitrary 1 hour limit that we give ourselves for some reason.
Yeah, and always run over, probably. So we, if you haven't yet, you can go on DLP Welcome on YouTube and you can watch the Christmas
There's loads.
parade.
There's loads of them.
Walkthroughs of
Yeah.
everything
That was
on
just
there.
the one at the top.
Yeah, anything you want to watch, you can watch. But the new Christmas parade.
No, I mean you can watch the Christmas parade. There's loads of videos.
Oh.
That was just the one at the top.
Well, that's the one we watched.
I don't mean YouTube. You can watch anything on there.
I like the I like the DLP welcome ones because they don't interfere with it. They just show you
Yeah.
it. So
Yes.
If you don't want people talking in the background, then
It was filmed right down the middle of Main Street.
It must have been on the gazebo.
It was on the gazebo. I think it had quite a high mount,
And a
camera
good
mount,
zoom
because you could.
4K.
I saw like one head pass by it, so it must have been quite high up.
Yeah.
And it was so zoomed in. So it was right down Main Street, all the way down.
They're our go-to choice for walkthrough videos.
Well, we
To watch.
never we
I know
watch
you don't,
vloggy things, but we don't watch walkthroughs. Now, in this instance, I was like, we want to chat about this tonight, Hugh. Should we watch it? So we had a quick watch of it, and I know you've seen it on Facebook and Twitter and things as well.
Yeah.
So we're just going to sort of talk through the parade. Now, first of all, you start with these blue fairies, and I won't ruin the magic. Well, no, I am. I'm going to ruin the magic.
Don't ruin the magic. There are floating fairies.
They're afloat. Okay, real
Should we
floating.
say spoilers? If you don't want to know,
Spoilers.
if you don't want to know,
They're on hoverboards.
off your
I
pop.
said it.
No, I meant spoilers in general. Like if you don't want to hear about the show, but they're floating.
We're
Lucy
gonna
is what they are.
We're going to describe it verbally. We're not going to show you anything, so it's not that much of a thing. Now, the thing is, these are like cone-shaped blue fairies, and there is a daytime version of this parade and a nighttime version of this parade, so things have to be adapted. Now, they've got these white swirls that go down the dresses, and they've got these big wings on, and the wings light up, and the white swirls have got some LED lights in them, and in the dark they look amazing. Got these big white beehives. In the light they look amazing too, but it looks like they've had a dead swan wrapped around them, because there's like this big wing coming up here. It's very strange. They're really creative and cool. just quite odd designs.
They were doing sort of Bollywood dancing as well, weren't they?
Yeah, a little bit. That you said that. I think it was just stylized arms, really.
Okay.
But it's quite intricate patterns and formations made with those hoverboards. Now the three fairies have done it on parades in the past. Loads of characters have, but they're ones most famous for it. Flora, Fauna and Merryweather. But they tend to just sail around a bit and wave at people. Whereas these guys had a full intricate pattern worked out. It was very impressive. Now, next thing you've got is silver men in suits, looking dapper, kicking the legs, holding canes, looking good. Yeah. Then you've got Mickey on a toy train with Pinocchio at the back. And I was writing all these down in order, but I'm going to rattle through the next three and I'll tell you why. Minnie on a sweet float. Donald and his nephews on a big Germanic float. And the reason why I put those three together...
It all checks out. ...is
because in all parades in the past, I've had very individually different themed floats, all that I've seen anyway, including like Halloween, they'll have a harvest one, a house one. These floats are all fairly similar, as in you can tell they all belong to the same parade. They've got a podium at the front and a tree at the back. Now, what's wonderful, I don't mean this as a criticism at all, because each of the trees is totally different and themed to the sort of architectural style on the float, the colour scheme on the float. I mentioned the Germanic one is kind of one of those wooden carved trees. The sweet one is all kind of candy cane and things. But I thought it's quite an interesting choice for them to do this fully themed parade as opposed to lots of individual things. I can't imagine any of these as a cavalcade particularly, because they'd be missing the friends. In between each of these floats, you would have showgirls with various other characters. And these showgirls were kind of fabulous. They had big snowflake back things. And again, at the nighttime parade, they light up the snowflakes. And then you had, and so we are drifting slightly from that first theme, the princess float. And this had the princesses in their winter outfits with Tiana, Rapunzel and Snow White and Ariel dancing in front of the float. Any princess I haven't mentioned so far will probably have been on the float. And it was really, really extra. It was all gold and gilded and swirly. Very magical. Very, very magical. And then I'm going to stop talking in a minute and you guys tell me what you think from what you've seen, because I'm doing one of my monologues. But the final thing was Santa on his sleigh with a giant snow globe behind him. And this particular float in the nighttime version, projected snowflakes onto the buildings on Main Street as it went past. It's kind of interactive. And also the snow would come down, I believe, on Main Street at the end of the parade. In the nighttime one, definitely. I'm not sure about the daytime one. And then you would end again with your floating blue fairies.
Yeah.
So you watched this thing in its entirety, Hugh.
Yeah.
Thoughts and feelings?
Well, the thing is, I'm a little biased because I'm not a parade guy. Like the experience of marking out your space and all that I find a bit stressful. But I'm starting to they're starting to feel like they're all the same now. Like, I know it's Christmas themed, but I mean the music is just so of a type. And I watched it and I was just thought, yep. I know it's it's different. The choreography is a bit different. The floats are a bit different. Do you know what's funny? I got to see you roll your eyes twice there because we've got two screens up, one of it happening live and one of it going onto YouTube. So I saw it. It put me off, but I tried to carry on. You rolled your eyes, and then I saw it on the other side of the screen as well. So, but basically, what I'm saying is, I'm not a great person to ask because I generally don't really. I don't love them because I'm like, it's another one of these, and it's like, the magic's in the air, the magic's everywhere.
I know what to expect from a Disney parade, and I keep going back year after year, and because I know what the product is. And when they get a new one, it's exciting to see what it is and what it can do. And some of the, particularly the main parades, where they've got the gymnastics going on in the Toy Story one or on the Rapunzel one, you've got the swinging hammers, they're really impressive. I know what you're saying about the music. The music is, can I say Europop? Is that offensive these days to say Europop? But it's kind of just got that mid-tempo synthesized plod, hasn't it?
We could probably write one.
We
That
should.
sounds
Oh
like
no.
fun.
Yeah.
Chris's eyes.
They
lit
did,
up
they
then.
did, yeah.
You're going to get to see that twice as well on this
Yeah,
screen.
you
Isn't it?
see, that's what they need is a nice
Look,
acapella.
it's about to happen. Look, there he goes. There he goes. You can see it. Okay. Anyway. So, but do you know what? So I'm struggling here because, like, do you know what I really liked? This, like, I liked the banner. You know, at the end where
they carry it.
Where, yeah.
That's the end.
When everyone like can walk like behind them as they're like bringing up the rear, I really liked that banner. I was like, what does that banner say? It looks really lush.
Go away.
But other than that,
Parade's done. Go away.
I'm not the one to really ask.
Oh, the nighttime version looked amazing though.
Yeah, I've only seen daytime type parades, so that kind of appeals to me. Was Goofy there?
Yes.
Did he have a bat on? Because that's like
No.
that was my dad's big thing when we went at Christmas last time. Was he absolutely loved watching
Band leader
Goofy band leading everybody.
Yeah, do you know I'd forgotten about that? That is massive impact. That is something you might miss. Yeah.
But yeah,
I
kind of agree with both of you about the parade. Which does that put me somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, and that's why this show's so good. I miss the
don't like to
gingerbread
upset
men. The year that we had those gingerbread men.
Oh, they were good.
2017 Christmas. The gingerbread men, like, you couldn't get those little plushes anywhere.
I wish I had them here because
we've got them. Yeah, because we burnt one a couple of years ago on a candle, didn't we?
Live on the show.
Yeah, or just before the show, was it?
I don't know.
And they were the best thing I've seen in any parade. Like when they had people dressed as them.
Yeah. And do they have the toy soldiers in Paris? Anyway, I suppose.
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah.
I suppose I know what you're saying. This wasn't the most creative parade I've seen. No, in fact, it's a long way from being the most creative parade I've seen. But when I was watching it, I think it's just because I'm missing Disney so much. Particularly the nighttime version just seems so cosy. And I could imagine the temperature of being there. You'd be cold, you'd be bundled up, it'd be dark. And then before the parade comes down, they turn all the lights off.
It's cold and dark and they turn all the lights off. It's magical.
Yeah, just before the fireworks come on, they do the same. All unnatural light gets turned off just before the fireworks, and it's such an exciting moment, particularly because we always cling tightly onto Bonnie at that point because we literally don't want to lose
Can't see her.
Well, because she's a small child, you kind of want to make sure that she's holding your hand once the lights go out, but there's something just so family orientated and lovely about that moment, and I think I was imagining all that and getting really excited for Christmas. You are right. This was not a creative parade, particularly.
Right.
It was nice.
I think as I was watching it, I thought, wouldn't it be great if every parade you saw, and it could be down to the music for me, if everyone you saw was completely different, like musically, and you'd be like, wow, that one was like so unique, or you remember that one? That was so different, like. But it's always the exact same, like say, the same tempo and the same style, and the same, like, rhyming dictionary stuff, magic in the air, there's magic everywhere, and I just go, oh, come on, guys.
It's an electrical parade, though. There has been stuff.
I saw the original Main Street electrical one in the 90s. It was just amazing. But think of some of the tunes, like Halloween, Halloween, everybody. I mean, that's a so-called classic.
Let out a scream.
Boo.
Yeah, it's Halloween.
You happy
Cold.
Halloween.
Classic.
Stone Cold classic.
Do you, boo, do you?
Yeah, there's been some really good ones.
Do you know what? What I would say is that as someone who's been twice and is going again soon, so I basically have an 18-month gap between, although this time it's been more like 3 years. I enjoy seeing the parades when I go. I think if you guys go more often, and there's loads to see there and do, but if you're there more often, you can kind of dip in and out of things a little bit easier and better. So I can see that the impact isn't maybe as big for you.
The Pirate and Princess theme was memorable. I am a pirate, I am a princess.
That is memorable.
And the one at the Jungle Book one.
Yeah. I can't remember the music for the
It was like,
I remember
we're on our way. We're on our way.
I mean, that was
that the Jungle Book?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Anyway, the costumes.
It was a summer one anyway.
The dancers for the Jungle Book one was really different. They had like a full Bollywood parade coming through,
It was that
carnival
one.
style.
It was.
So I think you're downplaying. I think you actually like them more than you remember.
Maybe I do. Maybe it's just this one. I just thought,
This was a generic parade, but that in itself makes it magical to me. Probably the way that you say it does, in that you don't go as you haven't seen all these different ones live, and so just having a parade.
The Dunn family makes a good point. They say the castle is looking amazing, and
it is.
You know, is it fully naked now?
It's not. It's not. I don't think there's any hoarding there anymore, but there's still bits of scaffolding and knickers up.
So it's still got his shoes on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it still looks underskirt on.
Yeah.
In some place, not the front. The bulk of it's out. There's just a little bit up the side. I'm not sure around the back what it's like at the moment. I've not seen any
Certainly,
pictures from the back
for the
recently.
purpose of photographs, you'd be able to get a photograph without scaffolding in now if you knew where to stand, which is good. That's what people want at the end of the day. It's the photographs, isn't it? Yeah, Dunn family saying the front is clear. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw an inside DLP video of it earlier today. It's popping. It's popping.
I wish they would have brought the fireworks back sooner. Unfortunately, we're going a bit too early, so I won't get to see them. At least we get to the parade. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing with them announcing things so late. In previous years, you know in blooming May what they're going to do in Christmas, or you've got a decent idea. But they're not able to do it this year, and people have booked holidays on certain presumptions that aren't happening. It's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Right. I think that's everything we've got. That's everything. Oh, we didn't look at the menus for Liver Gourmand.
Oh, well, it'd be
Do
better to
that
have a
next
picture anyway,
week.
wouldn't it? So why don't we do it next week and we'll get the picture up and then we can all sit down cosy.
We'll have a deep dive.
Deep dive into
the menu.
a good winter menu. So don't arrive hungry next week, because we'll make you salivate. I've been looking. I didn't finish my Cinnabon. My Cinnabon's been sitting next to me, and every time one of these lads talks,
keeps
I think
opening it and
I'm
then
going
shutting it
to.
again.
And then I think, no, I can't. It's rude.
It's exactly the same as every light we pull up at. You reach for your can of Diet Coke in the car, and
then the
lights
changes.
always change. She's always going every time.
Right. Okay, guys. Thank you ever so much for joining us today. It's lovely to meet new people in the chat, and I do hope you make a habit of it. Keep joining us, because we get to know you really well. If you're listening on the podcast and you don't get to see our faces, we appreciate you just as much. And if there's anyone going out there to Disneyland Paris, send us some trip reports, answer any of these questions, because we can't be there every week as much as we'd love to be. So you're kind of our eyes and ears on the ground. So we do take the feedback, and we do get some, but I think we'd like even more. Now, I've just published a vlog about Village Nature. I had to remember what it was called then. Le Village Nature, our times and experiences staying there. If anyone's thinking of staying there, it might be one worth watching. And I'm halfway through editing our day 5 from our August trip. So there should be another one up this week. So keep your eyes on the YouTube channel. As ever, if you want to support us technically and therefore financially, we do have a Patreon account that you can find in the description. Have I missed anything?
What are we doing now? What are we doing next?
Oh, we're about to record for our other podcast, our Classics podcast. We're recording Big Hero 6.
Yes,
Hero
because
6.
we got the order mixed up.
There's no way is there I did it. It's my fault. It's entirely
but-
That's why I hesitated before I
Nobody
said it,
corrected
though.
me.
Yeah,
It's my
but none of
fault.
us noticed
We
either.
didn't
So.
know. So we're going to
all
record
to
Big
blame.
Hero 6, but then we kind of need to get that one done, because then we're going to have new things to do. We've got Encanto that we're going to review, and then we always do Christmas.
Yeah,
Christmas films.
something Christmassy.
Yeah.
This way comes.
Do you know what we haven't done for a while, by the way, on this show? We haven't had we were talking about it just before we started recording, but we haven't done a virtual day in the parks for a while. It might be quite nice to do that again at some point.
Oh yeah,
Right.
I always enjoy that.
Maybe a virtual Christmas day for the Christmas
that'd be
episode.
good, wouldn't it?
Right, I was wrapping up, so I'm going to finish it. I've been Lucy. These have been the boys. You've been great.
The boys.
Thank you very much. Goodbye.
See you later.
Bye, pals.